can you hear me? Let's me check if now is working. Now is working the video. Hi, Rodrigo. Hi, Gabriel. Guys, before to start, it's important to know if the video is working. Can you see me? Can you hear me well?
Yeah, apparently they're saying it's working.
Yeah, it's working. Okay. So, guys, let's start the webinar. First of all, I would like to say Happy New Year. My name is Julia. Yeah, I'm excited too. My name is Julia. I work at Van Hack since last year. I give support to Pro and Premium members. Today, I'm going to hosting this webinar. It's my first time, so it's a big challenge for me, but I'm really happy to be here with you. Okay. Hi, Rodrigo. Guys, this webinar is our first webinar in 2017. And this webinar starts with Shopify. And I am pretty excited to be here because Shopify is one of the biggest tech company in Canada. And recently it was considered the best company to work. So to be here, I think it's a great opportunity to us to know better this amazing company. And who will present Shopify for us is Marina. Marina is a recruiter from Shopify. She's Brazilian like me, like I am. Marina, her bachelor was in computer science, and she has more than 10 years of experience in IT and human resource. So, hi Marina, welcome to this webinar. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I think it's so important, Marina, to introduce yourself and telling us a little bit about your history, your background, your career.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Very nice to be here. Also a pleasure for me to be attending this webinar with Van Hack. I used to actually follow Van Hack even before I left Brazil. So as a follower, like on being on the other side, just to try to understand like what was going on in Canada and learn a little bit about the market here. And it was very exciting when I was back there in Brazil just to see everything from abroad and just be dreaming about the day that I'd be here. So it is exciting for me to say that now I'm here in Canada. I'm living in Montreal. So I'm a bit far from Julia. Julia is on the west side in Vancouver. I'm in Montreal in the province of Quebec. And yeah, as Julia said, my background is in IT. So I graduated in computer science about 10, 11 years ago. So I've worked most of my career in IT. Then I decided to make the switch to HR, to human resources, more specifically to talent acquisition and recruiting, which is an area that I'm completely passionate about. So I've had a chance to like work in different countries before moving to Canada. I worked and lived in the US, and then I moved to London, UK, and then from London I moved here. So I'm now in Canada for the past year and a half, and very excited to be here. One of the things that motivated me to move here was just the better opportunity of like reinventing myself, like from a personal perspective, from a professional perspective. Really, like the quality of life and the market and everything that we have is amazing here, and very happy now. So I'm here for 1 year and a half with Shopify. 1 year, actually, yesterday was my first anniversary at Shopify. So very excited to be here. I joined Shopify already as part of the talent acquisition team, meeting great people for over the past year, have been meeting great designers, developers, people from different backgrounds. And that's it. Excited to be here tonight. And thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Marina. Welcome. Guys, I'm reading the chat and some people are saying that no video. I check my video is working and I can see Marina. I think everything is okay. I'm going to try to ask somebody to give me some support. But when we finish the webinar is going to be in YouTube as well. Okay, but I'm going to continue to conducting the webinar, but I'm going to ask somebody help. Now it's working. Okay. Oh, no video yet. Yeah, guys, if somebody, I'm using Jam Webinar. If somebody knows what is happening with the video, please help me. I work in human resource as well, so I don't know too much about technology. So if somebody can help me, it would be nice. Yes, some people is saying that it's fine, is working. So let's move on. Guys, I'm going to start some questions to Marina, but in the end of the webinar, we are going to have some a specific time for you guys type your one questions, okay? So Marina, my first question, it's a very, very basic one. We would like to know more about Shopify. So tell us the products, how many employees, how is the company day to day? Provide some information about Shopify, please.
Sure. So Shopify is the leading cloud-based commerce platform in the world currently. So it's there. It's been created for anyone who wants to start selling some products, either online or like through mobile or different channels. So we attend all the way from small entrepreneurs, from small businesses, all the way to big ones. So just to give you an example of like big customers that Shopify, different like big businesses, big merchants that Shopify serve. It's Tesla Motors, Red Bull, Nestle. So just so you identify some brands over there. So, but we are not focused only on the big ones. We do, like our mission, Shopify's mission is to make commerce better for everyone. So all the way from like very small businesses, like, you know, just one person who quit their job and wants to start like selling, I don't know, t-shirts or selling anything. They can go and they can, you know, start using Shopify, all the way to the big ones. So we do have over 325,000 merchants all over the world. Those 325,000, they are spread across 150 countries. So lots of users across the world. And just to give you an idea of the traffic that Shopify has, so like the volume that we handle, it's huge. It's about $40 million per day that, you know, in sales that go through like Shopify stores. So the merchants, how we call them, merchants, you know, are people who decide to open their businesses and use Shopify for it. So they use Shopify to be able to design their store, their online store, to set up, to manage on a daily basis, so to manage their product list, their prices, and everything. So like to do all the whole administration of the shop, of their shop. And they can use Shopify across different channels, as we call. So they can have online stores, they can sell via mobile as well. They can even have like physical locations, so they can be like in a street and then still use Shopify to manage their whole business. So it's a very complete platform. You know, it serves them like across different aspects of their businesses. I just wanted to share also a little bit of like the company story, because I think it's important for you to understand how did it all started. So Shopify started in 2006, so a bit more than 10 years ago, with our CEO. Our CEO is called Toby Lutke. He moved to Canada. He's German. He moved to Canada, and when he got here, he thought of selling snowboards online. So when he decided to sell snowboards online, he saw that there was nothing out there 10 years ago that served the way that he wanted to connect with his customers. So there was nothing that really connected, like directly. He would have to go to a marketplace, which was not something that he wanted. So Toby's a developer himself. So he said, you know what? I will actually build something myself. So he decided to start coding, and he built this whole thing like by himself. He created Shopify. At that time it was not called Shopify. It had a different name. His idea was just to build a tool, like an online platform that he could sell his snowboards. At the end, turns out what he built was, he got so passionate about it, and it was so great that people were more interested in the software itself than the snowboard. So then he thought, I'm gonna make a company out of it. I'm gonna expand it. So that's how Shopify was born, over 10 years ago. So Toby he became passionate about it, and he decided to make commerce better for everyone out there who wants to start their business. And that's how Shopify started. So in the beginning, it was a team of just 5 people working from Ottawa in a local coffee shop, just 5 developers, and I think few designers got together in a coffee shop, and they would create what it's now Shopify. And now we grew to a team of over 1,750 employees all over the world. So it's 1,750 people over that we have now working for Shopify. And we are spread across 5 offices in North America. So we have offices, most of our offices are here in Canada because it's a Canadian company. But we do have 1 office in the US now. So just to kind of explain to you, the headquarters is in Ottawa. That's our biggest office. Then we have offices also here in Montreal, in Toronto, in Waterloo, and in San Francisco. So these are our 5 offices. That's a bit of an overview about Shopify. I just also wanted to quickly mention one thing that I think it's important, and it's different. It's different from maybe some other companies out there. So at Shopify, we are not those type of companies that has a satellite or a main headquarters which kind of dictates everything. It's not like that. Even though Ottawa is our headquarters, just because it's it's where everything started. Each office is very independent. So each office has one different focus in regards to the product, and they operate independently, but collaboratively. So very, we say that we are highly aligned. So everyone is aligned, but loosely coupled. So we don't depend much on each other, but we work together to come up with a better product. Just to interrupt a little bit, I see lots of people asking if we have an office in Vancouver. No, we don't have an office in Vancouver yet. We might in the future. Things change very fast at Shopify, but not right now. So yeah, Montreal and Ottawa, we all work for the main platform, but Montreal is more about Ottawa is more about the merchants themselves and the features that they use, where Montreal is more about the merchants' customers. So really the people using Shopify to buy things. So here in Montreal, we think of the checkout experience, the purchase experience, how to come up with better discounts, discounts engine for merchants to use. So it's more connected to the end customer or to the end user, let's say. Toronto is our growth office, so it's more business oriented. So if you are more on the business side, Toronto would be the best office probably for you. Waterloo is our office that is focused on Plus. Plus is all the big customers that I mentioned. So like the Red Bull, Budweiser, Nestle, Tesla, those big customers that we have a team dedicated for them. And this team is all in Waterloo. Waterloo is close to Toronto. It's about 1 hour drive from Toronto. And lastly, we have the San Francisco office in the US, and that's more conversational commerce, which is like a bot for you to use from your mobile to chat and manage your store through your mobile. So that's a big overview about Shopify, which I think is very important to kind of situate everyone.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Marina. A lot of details. Somebody asked if we are Brazilians. Yes, Marina and we are Brazilians. But nowadays I live in Vancouver and Marina lives in Montreal. Marina, today Ilya shared with us a video about Shopify, and my impression was that Shopify has a friendly atmosphere. It's an informal relationship, informal company, and it's a company that value a relationship, trust relation between the co-workers, the boss with the employees. So could you tell us a little bit about the culture, Shopify cultures, values? And I have a specific question for you. As you are Shopify employee, what is the thing that you most appreciate in Shopify?
All right, cool. Yeah, so Shopify, as you mentioned, recently was selected as the best place to work in Canada. And I think one of the reasons why we got selected as the best place to work is a combination of our values, which I can comment more about. And also our people and how much we care about our people. So it's really a combination of both. So on the people side, we like at Shopify, what is great is that we treat everyone uniquely. As you mentioned, like the environment is very, very friendly. And one of the reasons why it's very friendly, it's because at Shopify, people really are able to be themselves, which is what we want. We don't want to meet with a corporate persona that we don't know who's behind it. So this is one of the things that we value in our recruiting process. When we meet with people, we really want them to be themselves, like completely, because we think that's important for us to know who they are, the true them, from the hiring moment and all the way to their work here. But yeah, so Shopify really, 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 really cares about the team, about people who work here. And that translates to, of course, to like our office. It's very offices in plural. So all of them are very well thought, are very well designed in a way that people, are happy to be in the office. And also that's inclusive for all different styles of people, because we do have lots of introverts, extroverts, people who love talking and collaborating with others, people who are more, who are quieter and prefer like to just concentrate a bit more to get things done. So we do have like all different kinds of meeting rooms, of environment in the workplace. And that's very appreciated by everyone. So I think that's one of the reasons why we got selected as being like a great place to work. So I mentioned about our values, and you asked too, like, what are our values, and what's our culture like? So the culture, some people might think, some people might look at our videos online and they might think that, oh, Shopify culture is great because they have all these amazing perks and food and benefits, but it's not that. Like, we don't think our culture is great because of that. That is awesome, but it's so much beyond that. It's much more about the people. So we believe the culture is a result of people's beliefs and behaviors. So that is what that's what builds our culture. So it's not really about the office being nice or free food or like all those amazing things that we have, but it's much more about how people, are smart here, how people behave, how they collaborate, how they teach and learn from each other. So it's very much about that, that makes the environment like friendly and nice to work. Regarding the values, I can comment on a few things. So the first one that comes to mind for those of you who already looked for videos on YouTube about Shopify, you probably see something that we say, get shit done, which is true. That's how we frame it, which is self-explanatory, but it's all about getting things done. Like at Shopify, we value results. So we love people who are able to identify what is needed and they work to get it done. So, like there's not much like time to like propose things and evaluating is much, it's super, the pace here is super fast and it's all about getting things done, making things happen. So this is one of our values. The other one is building for the long term. So as Toby always says, we want to be a company that is around for hundreds and hundreds of years. So at everything we do, we really try hard to like think of the short term, but look at the bigger picture and see, will this contribute to our growth and make us like be here in 100 years. So that's important too. The other value that I can share that we have is simplicity. So we at Shopify, we try to just make things simple, not overcomplicate, because the problems that we try to solve here, they are already very complex. So the solutions, they have to be simple. We try to make the solutions simple so people can understand. Another important thing that we value is ownership. So Shopify, we are a company that we serve entrepreneurs, we serve owners, we serve people who really own their business, and we want to have the same behaviors inside. So for every project that you have here, everything that you decide to do, own it. Like you have to own it. You have to really, feel responsible for what you do here. And that even translates to like smaller things, like if you go to the cafeteria here and I don't know, you see a broken glass or you see something that it's not okay, you just fix it. So we want to have that mindset that people usually have when like companies are very small, because it's what Shopify had in the past. So when Shopify was very small, when it used to be like a startup, everyone had to do a bit of everything. So like if a chair was broken, you wouldn't just see the chair and then walk away. You say, hey, the chair is broken. How can I help? Like, can I put a new chair here? So like that ownership translates into like small things on a day-to-day. And that's very important here. And the last thing, but not least, it's very important. It's being able to succeed on change. At Shopify, you have to be really comfortable with changing all the time. It's a very dynamic company. It's very flexible, very fluid, and things change every day. So like being able to adapt to changes quickly is something that we appreciate. It's something that we value. So all that, I think it's kind of what makes this a great place to work, or what makes our value.
Amazing, amazing, Marina. Marina, my third question, I think it's very, very important to our customers. So we would like to know more about the selective process. Could you tell us the steps, the phase, and give us some tips about the selective process in Shopify?
Yes, absolutely. So at Shopify, now that you know a little bit more of our history and of our culture and our values and everything, probably you won't be surprised if I said that the Shopify, our interview process is very casual, it's very atypical. So what we're looking here is really to find the best talent, and we want to meet the real you. So you want you to be yourself when you get the chance to talk to us, like, and when we get the chance to meet you. Just try to be yourself. That's the first tip that I can give. All conversations here, all the interviews or conversations, they are super casual, even with the member of like the talent acquisition team, which I'm part of, or with someone on the technical team. Both kind of chats are very, 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 very casual. In terms of like stages or what we usually do, it's first thing we get your application on the like through the Shopify page, careers page, and then we'll do some screening because we do get thousands of applications. So we do have to go through them all and do some screening. By the way, we do go through all applications that we receive. So at Shopify, there's a human being really reading and reviewing all applications. We have no automation for that. It's like there's a person reading everything that we receive. So that would be also my first tip to you. Well, the second one, because the first one I already gave, which is just be yourself. The second one is as you apply to Shopify, try to do the best job as you can in applying, in putting effort in your application, because as I mentioned, there will be someone reading your application. We get thousands and thousands. So it's important that you kind of stand out, your application stand out, and it's good for us to read. So that could be, that means so many different things, but like, it's important that you put effort while you're writing, for example, your cover letter, or your CV, or just, anything that you write on your application. Make sure you review, make sure the English, is okay, there's no mistakes, and that you put passion and love into writing whatever you write for us. So the cover letter, maybe some people like, I don't know if everyone is familiar with the cover letter, but it's something very common here in Canada, also in the US, in London, like different countries. In Brazil, it's not that common. Not sure about people from other countries. Maybe you can comment on the chat, but the cover letter is very important for us here. It's a place, it's a space where you can introduce yourself and present yourself for the recruiter. So really try to put there, like things that you want the recruiter to know about you. It doesn't have to be long, so you don't have to spend to write like pages and pages of cover letter, because it's hard to read like when there's lots of information. So try to be concise, try to really put what you appreciate the most about yourself, and make sure it's natural. Like just try to put in a way that it's almost like a conversation. At least for Shopify, like we are not very like a traditional company at all. It's very casual, as I said. So try to just make your cover letter just as if you were chatting with the recruiter. So just like in a very natural language, very honest, very being yourself. That will help, I think. The other thing is after the screening. So once we selected your application, we will probably invite you for an initial phone chat before a Skype chat. So usually we'll have like a quick chat over the phone. A 15-minute chat is very quick, just to kind of get a sense of like your most recent experience, of your interests, just to kind of get to know you. And then if everything goes well in the phone chat, if we feel that there's a position that would match your profile, then we would start the interviewing process. So the first interview that we would go through would be with someone on the talent acquisition team. So a recruiter, could be myself, could be one of my colleagues. That's usually over Skype for people who are abroad. So usually we do a video chat like this to get to know you in a 1 hour conversation, like 40 minutes to 1 hour. And then if everything goes well, we move to the more technical chats. So the technical ones, I'm not gonna go through details because they really vary depending on the role. So like for developers, you'll be going through to a technical track of interviews. For designers is a different one. For product managers is different. So like each one is kind of has their own interview styles. But usually, what the technical team will try to see is they'll try to deep dive on your knowledge, on what you know the most. They will try to do some sort of like pairing exercise with you, so a collaboration exercise. So just to exemplify, if you are a developer, you have to go through a pair programming. So it's really program code with one of our developers together to solve a coding issue. Or if you're a designer, you'll be invited to design something with a designer on our team. So just to see like how you collaborate, how you work together. And also we usually do some sort of like problem solving interview. So to see your problem solving skills, because what we do at Shopify is to solve problems every day. So usually these are our stages on our interview process. And what else? I guess that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Marina. Good advice. Marina, my next question is, I think it's very connected with the previous one. What skills do you need? What kind of skills Shopify is looking for in the candidates?
Okay, so Shopify is a Ruby on Rails shop. So for those of you who are developers or the designers, you might be interested in knowing that. So Shopify is built on Ruby on Rails, but contrary to what you can imagine, we don't require experience in Ruby on Rails to join Shopify. It's not a requirement. If you have that experience, amazing. If you don't, that's okay too. What is important for us is that you know one technology in very much depth, so that you got an expert, you became an expert, and you know really deep one technology. It doesn't have to be Ruby, as I mentioned, because we believe that if you know very, very well one technology of your choice, you are able to transfer the knowledge and to learn Ruby fast. There are a few specialized job postings that you find on our careers page that will require a specific set of skills. So sometimes we do have a very specific need, and then in the job posting, if we have that very specific need, we're going to mention. So for this job, you really have to know this. But in general, like 90% of the cases, we don't require specific technology. But I'm mentioning just so you know, like that Shopify is based in Ruby. So if you know Ruby, great. If you want to start learning Ruby, great. But in general, we don't require that for you to work here. However, if you join Shopify, you'll have to learn Ruby, and because that's what you're going to use every day as a developer, and mostly in other areas as well. So even if you're not a developer, if you are a designer, it might be interesting for you to at least have a sense of like how the development part works, and to be able to collaborate and work better with developers. So this is in terms of like skills. One tip that I can kind of give you is that at Shopify we really look for what we call a T-shape individual. So it's like a T, because it's people who really know a little bit of everything, not everything, but like they know a good amount of like technologies. They have experienced a little bit of different things in their career, and that they chose to go deep in one. So at Shopify, we usually don't hire people who just kind of stayed on the surface level. So there are people who know a little bit of lots of things, but they didn't specialize in one. That's like for Shopify, that usually doesn't work. So you would have to know one very well. Show to us that you know that one through our interview process. For example, in the pair programming, you can choose to code on the one that you're most comfortable at, and then and that's cool. It doesn't have to be Ruby though. What else? We really look for passionate people. So you have to be passionate for what you do, and you have to love to learn. So continuous learning is something that we really appreciate here. That's it.
Nice. Guys, now I have my last question to Marina. So feel free, feel comfortable to type your one question. When Marina finished to answer my question, we are going to start to read your questions, okay? So Marina, we exchanged some emails, and one of them I mentioned that it was so important to talk about the job vacancies that Shopify has opened now. When I accessed the website, I saw a lot of great job opportunities. So could you tell us a little bit about the job opportunities that you are conducting?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, Shopify has currently lots of job posts posted online. We are hiring a lot across many different areas. So Shopify has been growing a lot ever since its creation, has been doubling every year so far. So if you go to our careers page, which is shopify.com/careers, you'll be able to see all the jobs that we currently have open, and you'll see a lot of different areas. So it's like I won't go in details to like all of them, but I can mention for sure now for you to have an idea what are the different areas that we have at Shopify, what are the different positions that we are recruiting for. So Shopify is a software company. It's a tech company. So most of our positions are developers, different kinds of developers. So like we do have positions for back-end developers, for front-end developers, production engineers, data people, data developers, and so data engineers and data analysts as well. Security, so application security. These are most of the positions that we have on the engineering side. Then we have on the UX side, you have designers, we have content strategists, we have UX researchers, and also front-end developers at Shopify. They are part of UX. So at Shopify, even though you can be like a full stack developer, so you can work with everything, you would have to choose what you prefer to work, because front end is separate from back end at Shopify. What else? We are also looking for product managers. So that's not project manager, that's product manager. Just one clarification that is important. Usually at Shopify, we don't have project managers positions. I just saw a question in there and I just wanted to already mention it. So we don't have project managers only. Really, we are looking for product managers instead, which most of product managers, they'll have some project experience, but they have to have much more experience in really understanding the audience, coming up with a product, lots of experience in actually managing the life cycle of a product, putting value on a product and everything like that. What else? These are mostly the positions that we have on the what we call the R&D, so research and development, more the technical positions. We do have some other positions on more administrative areas like HR or legal or like stuff like that. But usually those are more local. We usually don't hire from abroad for those type of positions. But for devs, for designers, for product managers, definitely we hire locally and lots of people from abroad. So regardless of the country that you can always apply. At Shopify, we're just looking to find the best talent out there, no matter where they are.
Great. Guys, somebody said to me, some people are having some problems with the connections, and somebody said to me, give the advice to use the Google Chrome. So I think it would be helpful to make the connection better. Guys, now we have some time to make some questions. We are almost running out our webinar. So feel free to ask to Marina your doubts. Marina, feel free to read the chat and choose the best questions.
All right, so someone is asking if we sponsor visa. Yes, so when we hire people from abroad, Shopify sponsors visa. Okay, does the summer internship program is available for people from outside Canada? Yes, so we also hire interns from abroad. For the summer one, you have to pay attention on the due date, on the last day that you have to apply. I think it's January 30th, if I'm not mistaken. So you just have to pay attention to that, Cassia, if you want to apply. But yes, you can apply even not being in Canada. The Shopify has positions to machine learning and data science analysts. Yes, so we do have data analysts and data engineers at Shopify. So you can apply if you don't, for some reason, if you don't see the data analyst posted, you can apply to the data engineer one and just make a comment that you would prefer more like a data analyst position. But yeah, we do have machine learning and all that.
Marina, Shopify has the intention to expand an office in Vancouver. Somebody asked this question.
So far, anything is confirmed. Shopify things change a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised if we are expanding to other cities soon. But so far, there's nothing confirmed about expanding to other cities.
And Marina, Shopify works with a remote job. Guilherme is asking this question. Thank you, Guilherme.
Thank you. So that depends on the role. So at Shopify, we do have some remote people, like working from home, working from different countries, but usually not developers, not designers. These are mostly, people working remotely are mostly working on support. So it's really our customer support team who works regardless of the location. We do have people working in Ireland, in Europe, all across Canada, but mostly are from support. So developers, designers, not sure what's your role, but usually those you would have to move to Canada, to one of our offices.
Marina, Annie asked about the diversity in the company. So there are a lot of Brazilians in Shopify and different countries, people from different countries.
Absolutely. At Shopify, diversity and inclusion is something that we value a lot. So we do value all aspects of diversity. So not only diversity of like background, so country and origin, as you mentioned, but diversity of gender, of sexual orientation, diversity of thinking, and everything. So all different age, all different aspects of diversity are welcome at Shopify, and we do put lots of effort into that. So for sure, thanks for asking that. So someone is asking about digital marketing. So like if there are digital marketing positions open, if you don't see them on the career page, it's probably because we don't have any position open now, but we do have digital marketing area that's in Toronto. So all the marketing related areas, they are based in our Toronto office. And yeah, so you can keep an eye on our career page. So when you see that coming up, you can apply.
Marina, some people are asking how to send their resumes. Interested to apply for some positions.
All right, so you should go to shopify.com/careers. That's really the place to go to see what we have open and to apply. So we don't take applications through like direct email or LinkedIn. You should really go to shopify.com/careers. Take a look on, you can filter that by office. So if you're interested in a particular city, you can choose the city, or in a particular area, you can choose by area, and then you can see everything that we have open, and then you can apply through there. So that will make sure, if you do that, we'll make sure your application gets, to the hand of the right recruiter internally. because our recruiter team is huge. We have over, I don't know, like 30 recruiters across Shopify. So only if you do that, we'll make sure your application will get to the hands of the right recruiter, and then we can start the process.
Somebody, Marina, asked how long is the selective process usually?
So the selection process is not that long. It's usually, I would say, 1 week between each phase. So, but like we can take, usually when you apply, we'll try to look at your application within 2 weeks. So that's 2 weeks for us to be able to go through applications. Then if we invite you to start a chat, then between each chat, each conversation, it can take up to 1 week. So I would say in total, I don't know, maybe like 1 month, 1 to 2 months of recruiting process. But then you would have to take into consideration that if you are abroad, it's the visa that takes longer. So if you get selected and you get hired, then the visa, depending on your citizenship or where you're from, that can take a long time. So you have to be flexible to be here just after like the visa is completed. But the recruiting process itself, I would say sometime between 1 month to 2 months.
Okay. Marina, usually the selective process is conducted in English or in French?
Oh, that's a good question. It's in English pretty much. So it's very important that you are able to communicate in English in order to apply, because once you're with Shopify, every communication will be in English. So so you have to be able to be comfortable and be able to understand and communicate in English, because all presentations, all communications, everything will happen in English. If you are in Montreal, particularly, Montreal is our only bilingual office, so it's French and English. Still, we try to meet most of the people in English, just because there are some people in Montreal who won't speak French. But once you're here, you're welcome to speak French, because informally, that's what you hear, like in the corridors, over lunch. That's for Montreal. But all of our other offices is English only.
Great. Guys, our timing is running out. Do you want to choose one more question, Marina, to answer?
Yeah, I'm just looking at them. Let me see.
Okay.
So someone asked which kind of candidate it's kind of easier for the visa sponsorship. If it's more for tech positions, for tech vacancies, yes. So usually we don't bring people from abroad like for administrative positions. It's more for technical positions. Let me see. Yeah, someone is saying they visited Shopify in Toronto and the office was incredible. Thank you. It really is. All of offices are amazing. Let me see if there's any final one. UX, how is the interview? How it works? So it's the same interview process that I just described. So like UX, is an umbrella area that we have, and under UX we have designer positions, UX researcher, content, and front-end developers. So depending on when you mean UX, I don't know which one you're thinking about, but like let's say if you're a designer, Bruno, then you would go through the same process that I described, but then when it comes to the point that you'd be chatting with the team, you would be doing design-related interviews. So something like a portfolio review. So people would be interested in seeing your portfolio. And you would have to have both UX and UI experience, because at Shopify, we don't have like UX people and UI. Our designers, they do both. So you have to have experience like building wireframes and the whole interactive process, and then the whole UI. So everything goes end to end. All right, cool. What else? Product managers from abroad. Yes, yeah, we do bring product managers from abroad. As I mentioned, with product managers right now, it's that's sort of like a new team at Shopify. It started to grow last year, so now it's very big, but it's not being here for like a longer time. So that all that to say that we are really looking for more senior product managers. So even leads, so people with lots of experience managing products. So if you're like more on the junior side, it might not be the right moment, but if you're super senior managing, tech products, then you can apply for sure.
Marina, Thiago has a good question. Thank you, Thiago. He would like to know if the interview is technical, if the technical interview involve real world problems or something like logic.
So the technical interviews is real world problems. So it's usually something that the developers are trying to solve themselves. And for sure, like while solving the problem, you would have to use different skills. So like your, architecture and data, data management and like algorithms, so logic as well. But the problems themselves are all real world, all things that the developers here are trying to solve. So someone asked about it's a 1-year contract. That one I don't understand. So like, if you're asking if we hire like contractors, usually not. We only hire like full-time employees, most of the cases. As always, there are some exceptions if we need a particular skill, and that skill has has to be like from a contractor. But usually it's full-time positions. What else? So someone, I just saw something about degree. I just want to clarify something that I think is important. So at Shopify, we don't really place much value on which degree do you have. So as I mentioned in the beginning, Shopify is very atypical. We are not a typical company. So we don't really place like lots of importance on like which degree do you have and if that relates to the job. So you can come from, like, look at me, for example. I graduated in computer science and I'm working in HR. So here at Shopify, we don't necessarily relate, like to work in HR, you have to be graduated in human resources or like human, related areas. It's not the case. So even if you don't have a degree, in computer science, but you became a developer, like on the job, even if you don't have a degree at all, but then you are now the best developer that you can be, you should apply. So we don't necessarily look for a specific degree or for a specific numbers of years of experience, except for maybe some specialized positions that we have. But overall, we don't require like you have to have 6 years of experience. It's not the case.
Mm-hmm. Marina, João and Janine asked about the level of English. What is your recommendation?
I would say there's no required level, but I would say you have to be really comfortable having a conversation fully in English. So it's hard to say the level, but like you have to really you have to understand everything and be able to communicate and to talk very fluidly. You don't have to be advanced, but you have to really be comfortable with your communication in English. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. Guys, our time is running out, is finishing. So Marina, thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure to talk to you. I think our conversation, it was so valuable. Okay.
Thank you, Julia. Thanks everyone for the interaction and all the questions and the participation. And it was my pleasure to be here.
Okay, thank you. Guys, thanks again. If you have any specific question about Shopify, you can share with me by Slack or by my mail is julia@vanhack.com. So thank you so much. And I hope to see you again in the next webinar. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Marina. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.